Welcome to the Stringjoy Show. I am Ryan. We are smack dab in the middle of our series about recording guitars because in 2022, with the way technology is, it's possible for just about anybody to record guitars. And if that's something you're interested in, we got some tips for you. In our first video, we used the Steve Albini method to mic our guitar cabinets. And if there's anything we learned from that video, I think it's that it is a time-consuming process. And it takes quite a bit of trial, quite a bit of error, and a whole lot of time. And you may have looked at that video and thought, there's got to be an easier way. And there is. And we're going to look at it today. And that is going ampless in the studio. To go ampless, you can go really far and go the Kemper Axe Effects route, and those are incredible units. But for our purposes today, I want to keep things a little bit more affordable. We're going to be looking at products that are in the hundreds, not the thousands. First method we're going to look at is one that's great if your project is anchored to your studio, as in it's not something that you're going to take out live. And all you need is some plugins and either one of these. This is a DI box, good old-fashioned DI box, or you plug into the high-Z input on your preamp if that is available. And then from there, honestly, you just Google impulse response plugins. And the market is so massive that I'm not even gonna touch on it. For the rest of this video, we're going to talk about standalone units, and these are units that you can use in the studio, but then also put on your pedal board and take out on the road with you, or go to rehearsal or whatever you need to. Universal Audio has just released some pedals that are amp simulator pedals, and they are of sonic quality that can be used in the studio, but then also pedal board friendly, so it can be used on the road. I have two of them here. This one is the Ruby and is based off of the AC30, and this one is the Dream and it is based off of a vintage Fender Deluxe Reverb. Let's get some sounds out of these. I just want to show you the sound quality. This is definitely not a demo. This is something that you would just listen to and go, yeah, I could do something like that. Or no, that's not for me. All right, with the Dreamer, we got a couple of different basic options up front. We have 3 different speaker options as well as 3 different channel options. And there's a lot more in-depth stuff that you can do, but I always look at these as like sitting down in a music store, trying something out for the first time. So let's do that. Next, we have the Ruby, which is the same concept as the Dream. You have the choices between a couple of different speaker options here. You have choices between the different channel options. It's basically just like an amplifier. This is from Two Notes. This is the Torpedo cab. There are basically two different things that you got to look out for. So there's a virtual cab. So here it says VC, and that will have the preamp and power amp. And then there's also an IR, which is the same thing, but that is just the cabinet. And so that would require your amplifier. So we're just going to look at the virtual cabinet presets here, at least the ones that they have set up, just to get an idea of how this sounds. so this last one is just kind of for fun. I don't think that this was designed for a studio application, but I mean, what if it could be used as one? We're going to look at the Line 6 Pocket Pod, and there are different ways that we can access sounds on this. We can browse by band, bands like 311 and Bumblefoot. You can also browse by different styles. So I haven't tried this thing out yet. I thought we would experience this together. So I just pulled up Classic, and let's see what that sounds like. I mentioned earlier you can browse by band, so let's see here. Band, what do we got here? So, what did we think? I thought the Line 6 Pocket Pod was the most surprising thing because it didn't sound terrible. It sounded pretty good. Now, would you want to use that in the studio and depend on it as your main studio thing? Probably not. But there were some cool sounds in there, and there are probably a lot more if I just noodle around with it some more. The universal audio units are great if you are dedicated to a very specific amp. If you are dedicated to a deluxe reverb, then the Dream is going to be great for you. If you're dedicated to an AC30, the Ruby works great. My favorite out of the bunch is the Torpedo cab from 2 Notes. I thought that was the most universal. I thought it was very not stale sounding. That's one of the things that you run into with a lot of these is they can sound manufactured. And Torpedo didn't sound like that to me. You can use it in multiple different ways where you can use it as a reactive load, you can use it as an amp in a box, you can use it as all kinds of things. So the Torpedo cab is gonna get my vote for things in this standalone units in this price range. I think that would be a great place to start. I would record with the Torpedo cab any day. So cool thing. I think next thing we're gonna look at is we're gonna pull in my friend Jesse from 29 Pedals and Manly, and we are going to build some very inexpensive starter guitar rigs and compare them and see where we come down. I'm excited to see how different they are. So until then, see you when I see you.